As children and teens head back to school for the first time in 18 months on campus, mental health issues are top of mind.
That's right. And one way some schools plan to cope is to empower students to help one another by forming connections that fight isolation. KCAL9's Serene Branson has our story.
There is no end and there is no beginning.
This is called a connection circle. It's an ancient remedy for solving tough quandaries.
Tribes in Africa, South America, Central America, and even the Americas would sit in a circle to make decisions for the village.
A nonprofit called Calibrate runs connection circles on Southern California middle and high school campuses. We recently visited a circle, meeting at Mayfield Junior School in Pasadena.
Listening without judgment, speaking from the heart means you are telling your truth.
Marcos Van is a connection specialist.
Which means I help facilitate connection circles.
Ground rules are set by students themselves.
Stories stay here.
Ashe.
Circles are facilitated by young adults who've graduated the program.
Anybody else have anything that they want to add?
In the center, a gratitude jug.
Maybe you want to thank your mom for bringing you out here.
And turquoise pebbles for dedications.
I dedicate this to my family.
I dedicate this to our last few weeks of summer.
While COVID has exacerbated teen isolation, it's not a new phenomenon. When 25-year-old DeAnthony Jenkins joined his first circle back in 6th grade,
new school, no friends.
But through a connection circle just like this,
I was able to meet new people, understand people a little bit better.
He's back now to repay the program, which once helped him.
Growing up in a broken household, a lot of people who look like me or come from where I come from, they don't have the opportunity to really express themselves or to really understand their emotions. We grew up in a very hardened community. So for me, I was able to learn how to understand what other people are going through, empathize with them.
By learning how to listen and how to share,
We're able to take on mentors who are showing me that there are other options other than what you're anticipating doing, which was dropping out.
connections changed his trajectory. Instead of dropping out, DeAnthony went on to college, earned an MBA, and now?
But I'm here to help.
A circle creates equity because everyone gets to be seen, everyone gets to be heard.
Drum roll.
Well, we are so lucky this afternoon because joining us now, connection specialist, you saw him in that story, Marcos Van, and connection facilitator and alumnus, Becky Jones. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us.
Van, we'll start with you. I noticed you guys were outside in those circles. Many students wearing masks, which really highlights where we are with COVID. How much impact do you think the pandemic will have on mental health as students return to in-person instruction now?
It's going to have a big impact. We have students who have missed a year and a half, potentially more time to grow up together in what is a traditional setting for them. So they've been missing out on their academics in a certain way, but they've also been missing out a lot on the socialization and other parts of development that help them.
And Becky, now to you, even before COVID, isolation has always contributed in some way or another to teen anxiety. What do you expect to see going forward this semester?
This semester, I'm expecting to see patience on everyone's end and empathy. You know, I think with everything that we've all been through and hearing some of the stories that the children have shared, even with home life and just everyday life that they're dealing with, I think it's really important for us to give each other grace and really be patient and understanding with each other. So I would really love to see some compassion and love towards each other in this school year coming up.
And Becky, can you tell us a little bit about your own experience as a student and how those circles impacted you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I actually went to a charter school called Community Harvest in Los Angeles, and Marcos Van actually was one of my math teachers in high school. And we were introduced to connections almost immediately. When the school was opened, we had it weekly. I could not see myself being where I am today without having connections. You know, they gave me strength. They gave me a place to be able to talk and be free and be myself. Acceptance. It gave me a voice and made me feel like my feelings were valid, even when, you know, places outside of the circle, my feelings weren't always validated. So it was nice because in high school, I got to look forward to that bit of validation, that bit of acceptance, and also those connections that I made with the classmates that I participated in connections with through high school.
We've seen so many success stories. You're telling us yours, Becky. Marcos, do you have any advice for parents worried about their students? Perhaps they don't have access to a program like Connections. Anything they should be on the lookout for? And what can they do on their own, for example, to help with their kids coping with this anxiety or isolation as we start this new school year?
Well, there's going to be a lot of anxiety just in general because there's a whole lot of not knowing, and that's for all of us. That's for the adults as well. That's for the educators. That's for families and parents, and of course for students. So the best bit of advice I could give to parents is make sure they are actually making time and space to listen to their children and ask them questions that are open-ended and not pointed. So just be prepared to listen to them, keep their eyes out for programs that allow this sort of opportunity for students, and see if they have any way to participate in things that are going on at school.
Listen, communicate, speak out. I mean, we've heard this before. It still plays true today,
it
right?
It seems so simple, but it makes so much impact.
All right, thank you so much for spending time with us today and demonstrating the value of connection circles as school open up and kids step up their interactions with one another. Thank you both once again for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, for more information and other mental health resources, go to cbsla.com/mental health. We'll see you soon.